what about marriage is so bad? You have a partner and you commit to them for better or for worse, etc. You don't let anything come between you. Like, what's so bad about this, right? The reality is the thing that's so bad is when it goes wrong. A lot of the times marriages go wrong, a lot of the times because of finances and uncertainty. Finances and uncertainty. If you really, in my opinion, if you really are someone who sees yourself as marriage material, that wedding should not be so high on the priority list. It really shouldn't, in my opinion. If you see yourself as marriage material, but you're so fixated on wedding, that's an issue. Wedding should not stop you from marrying your quote unquote life partner. So I'm telling you, fellas, that should be a hard line, and you should challenge to see what's good with it too. Because if they say it and then they don't honor it, don't be surprised.
It doesn't matter who you are,
Does not matter. Honestly, I think that's enough. I'm going to talk a lot about this idea of marriage throughout the course of this podcast because I think marriage is such a core of what makes family so strong, marriage. And again, as I said, I don't think the institution of marriage is so wrong. The institution of marriage itself, what about marriage is so bad? You have a partner and you commit to them for better or for worse, etc. You don't let anything come between you. Like, what's so bad about this, right? The reality is the thing that's so bad is when it goes wrong. A lot of the times marriages go wrong, a lot of the times because of finances and uncertainty. Finances and uncertainty. Uncertainty, a lot of the times people get married and they're not even certain that that's what they want to do. So inevitably the marriage doesn't even work long term because they're not even certain about wanting to be married. Shouldn't be getting married if you don't know that's what you are signing up to do. You should want to do that. If you're signing up to do that, you shouldn't be forced into it. You shouldn't be tricked into it. If you don't want to be married, don't get married. And if you claim you want to get married, don't prioritize having a wedding over building a strong marriage. We have to make sure the order of operations goes the right way. I truly want marriages to be more successful than what they currently are. And I think marriages would last a bit longer and be more successful if the wedding came later. That is what I truly think. When we had our wedding, not only was it stress-free, a lot of our friends and family tell us till this day, and this was at this point going on 10 years ago, that was one of the best weddings they had been to. We had a great time. We celebrated what we came together and create. And again, this is only my experience. If there's one thing that you can do to help improve the likelihood that you have a stronger marriage, I would look at how you're approaching your wedding. Is your wedding already putting you in a place where you're going into your marriage resenting your partner? It's not a good place to be. If you are getting engaged, be prepared to get married as soon as possible. That would be the other recommendation. We can't play with engagements as a risk period. Like, let me see what's up with the free trial. That's not what an engagement is. If I could give men any one piece of advice to help just improve or not even improve, to help streamline to the marriage, don't ask for the sake of making them happy. Cannot do that.
No.
You can only ask for their hand in marriage if you're ready to be their husband on that day. That would be my one bit of advice to guys. That's a powerful question to ask someone, and you can't mess around and ask for their hand in marriage and you don't even know for sure that you want to marry that person. That's not what the engagement is for. Don't do that. I think that's it for today. In conclusion, I'm going to say it one last time. Marriages are not about weddings. Weddings should be a celebration of your marriage, not a prerequisite to get married.
It doesn't matter who you are,
Come on now. This is the G podcast. I greatly appreciate y'all tuning in. Before we wrap up and hit the outro music, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Especially you made it to this point and you didn't subscribe, man. Come on now. Subscribe. That's what I need. Make sure you subscribe. Follow GSish Pod, GSH Pod, at GSH Pod, all one word, on Instagram, on Twitter. But I think we off Twitter. I'm not sure about that part. Shout out Old Hillside. Definitely want to shout out Old Hillside, man. They released that Centennial official release, 101 release. They're not going to do that again. I did get a couple bottles because I wanted to sip that whiskey. Pause. But we definitely got a couple bottles. I kept one, though, just to keep. We're going to keep that off to the side. But shout out to Old Hillside, man. This is the G podcast. And the hope is when you listen to the G pod, you get something, some sort of tool or insight that you can use so that you can have a stronger impact on your family, better relationships with your friends, improve your finances, help exercise your freedom, and put us all in position to have a stronger future. This is the G podcast. I greatly appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is the G podcast. But it sounds like you made it just fine. Weddings are not a prerequisite. Ha. Word.